Where are the prosecutors right now? You know, the same prosecutors that'll go after my father every single day for nothing, right? Just because they want to disqualify him because he's clearly the front runner for 2024, right? Where are those prosecutors? Hillary Rodham Clinton is a New York resident. Let me just kind of, break that down for you. She lives in Chappaqua, New York. And guess where Trump Tower is located? It's located on Fifth Avenue in New York. Where are these prosecutors? Where is the DA? Isn't that a federal, isn't that a... isn't that fraud? Isn't that all sorts of offenses?
I'll predict
where's
this.
Letitia James in this whole thing? Is she just going to ignore this because Hillary happens to be in her political party?
We don't
Where
get this
is that
fixed.
equal justice? And you know what?
We'll lose the country, Eric. It's over. But I got to roll. But this is the biggest scandal.
Is it just me, or did Eric Trump look like he was about to break out in tears? Sad. Baby. Getting very emotional over here and bringing up Hillary Clinton. So now look, again, you can see Eric Trump deflecting from the many legal issues that the Trump organization is facing, including potential tax fraud. Now, I don't know. I don't know about Hillary Clinton doing tax fraud. But certainly there's a good case that the Trump organization, which Eric Trump helps run, engaged in some shady dealing. So now we know about those charges, but again, they're going back to their favorite hits. Now we're talking about Hillary Clinton again. Now, look, nobody wants Hillary Clinton back in the news. Nobody. Actually, you know what? No, let's go back. I amend that. Nobody wants Hillary Clinton back in the news more than Trump and Republicans. Nobody. And look, from the left, I can't stand her. I can't stand talking about Hillary Clinton. I want Hillary Clinton to go back to the woods, and I want her to stop influencing the Democratic Party, to be more corporate, to be more right-wing. Why didn't she go back and just be a grandma? Just end the politics. Get out of politics. But here's the thing. While we want her to go away, the right wants her to stay right there because they have an unhealthy weirdo fixation with Hillary Clinton. And they're using her, I believe, as a distraction. Now, what Eric Trump was talking about was the John Durham court filing. Now, they're already doing Obamagate 2.0. Right? Or Spygate 2.0, whatever you want to call it, right? So basically they take the Obama administration, they spied on the Trump campaign during 2015, 2016, they spied on the Trump administration, and now they just take Obama's name and replace it with Hillary Clinton. And it's essentially the same charge. They accused her team of hacking into Trump's computers and spying on Trump. Now, Fox News is reporting that John Durham, had alleged that Clinton's presidential campaign in 2016 had paid to infiltrate servers belonging to Trump Tower and later on in the White House. Now, of course, this is a little bit more complicated, and a lot of it is just allegations with no charges. And so what does this bring to mind? A witch hunt, of course. So now, again, this would be a very serious charge, hacking into and trying to steal the data of a political opponent. But we've already seen Durham hasn't charged anyone. Durham also is an appointee of William Barr. So it seems like kind of, partisan. Now, by the way, this right-wing media, I keep bringing up how this is a problem. Right-wing media will take something and then they'll basically change the meaning. They'll interpret it. For example, the infiltration charge of Trump's servers, no, that's actually a talking point from Kash Patel, a former Trump administration official. This court filing says nothing about infiltration. Nothing. And so, no, you have, unfortunately, that same narrative coming from Trump supporters in media. Let me give you a little bit of context into what's actually going on. And again, there's a lot more to this, but let me just lay out the basics. So Durham is charging Michael Sussman with lying to the FBI. There's an indictment, okay? This is all in relation to Russiagate, by the way, which they are very, very angry about. They're still angry about the Russiagate thing, right? Now, the indictment alleged that he told the FBI, Sussman, that he was not acting on behalf of clients. Well, in fact, he was secretly acting on behalf of Clinton's political team for her campaign. Now, that's the allegations. Sussman says, no, I didn't do that. I never said that I didn't have any clients. Now, Sussman worked for Perkins Coie, which was employed by the Clinton presidential campaign back in 2015. Now, the indictment claims that Perkins Coie's internal paperwork, Sussman had billed some time with the FBI. General Counsel James Baker had billed that to the Clinton campaign. We don't know what they talked about. Durham says, what they did is they talked about Alpha Bank. The mysterious connection between Alpha Bank, talking to one of the Trump computers in Trump Tower, and that was like somehow like a secret Russian connection. Now, of course, Alpha Bank, they didn't find anything about Alpha Bank. They looked into it. The FBI took the tip that they had found and found no evidence of anything shady. The computer in question was not owned by the Trump organization, but it was running ads for Trump hotels. That story fell through. People forgot about it. Another story people forgot about is the Steele dossier. Clinton tried to use some of the information from the Steele dossier to attack Donald Trump. Now, a lot of the stuff in the Steele dossier was unsubstantiated, poorly sourced. There were some things that did turn out to be true, but at the end of the day, the most salacious stuff was not true. Or again, not backed up by any sort of factual evidence. And so not only that, but you had the Mueller investigation that found no conspiracy between Donald Trump and Putin. They just found out that Trump was more than happy to accept assistance from the Russians, but didn't facilitate said assistance. There's a big difference on that. And so the Russians, of course, did do, troll farms and bots to try to stir up negative headlines against Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump himself, and I've said this before over and over again, I don't think he was smart enough to collude with Russia. Just saying. But that's what the whole thing is about. We're back to Russiagate. So all of this is a way, I think, to have Donald Trump, if he gets back into office, and that's possible. Anything is possible here, to punish his political opponents, specifically Hillary Clinton, over Russiagate. Because of course, right? Now, the point is, political campaigns from either side use opposition research. They use media headlines. And Trump, for example, used the Comey emails to help tank Hillary Clinton's campaign. Democrats, they went after him with the Russia investigation. And now Donald Trump is just coming back again with, obviously it's Hillary Clinton. Why isn't Hillary Clinton being investigated? For what? What did she do? She didn't do... Okay. Now, here's the thing. Yes, she has done things that are quite improper. If you want to criticize the fact that she had an email server, perfectly fine. You know what? Because I've criticized her for that. Yes, her private server was absolutely improper. Yet, on the other hand, you also have to look at the fact that Donald Trump's handling of important documentation, well, less than stellar. Literally shredding and eating documents and flushing them down the toilet. Apples and oranges, really. Definitely when it comes to records management, Donald Trump, worse. But see, understand what Eric Trump is crying about here, almost literally crying, is the fact that there are, yes, serious investigations into Donald Trump's business practices. And I think that's important. That's really important because business is where they're going to get him. You've got to follow the money. You've got to follow the money when it comes to the actual corruption of the Trump campaign. The Republican Party, when it comes to Trump's own business organization, they can't do anything to help him. Other than, of course, pay his legal bills, which you're already doing. But Republicans, look, and Republicans, they shielded him from impeachment, not once, but twice. And it's because that was a political trial. But when it comes to the investigations in the Southern District of New York, Letitia James, Cyrus Vance Jr., well, the Republican Party can't step in and do anything against that. They've got no one to shield them from those issues. And there's some pretty big organization that, or big evidence that the organization was doing some very illegal business practices that could get them into a lot of trouble. So they brought back, what about Hillary? Because it always comes back to that. But nobody cares. Nobody cares except for the right-wing outrage machine.